welcome. So today I'm out on the river, lights and all. Can't see it too well because it's nighttime, right? But we're going to hunt one of the beautiful creatures of the ocean, or ugliest, or depends how you. Got these new crab nets here. You're gonna test them out. We're gonna crab. We're gonna hunt for some crabs. So today I found a jetty, and it's 9 o'clock at night. You're probably thinking, oh, why are you out in the middle of the night? Look, it's important that you're out in the middle of the night because you want to catch them. Okay, so what am I going to do with that? Let's find out. Most people would like this dish. I'm just going to use chicken. Good old chicken. Got it from Aldi's, right? So, fish, chicken. What else? Okay, so I'm going to hack this a little, right? I'm going to use a zip tie instead, right? Life hacks. Okay, yeah, zip ties are a little environmentally unfriendly and so forth, but you know what? It's going to be one, and make sure you don't lose it. So I got my chicken piece here, and all I'm going to do is zip tie through here. Like any old zip tie. Like any old zip tie. Tighten that up nice and good and tight. That's part one. Part two. Right. Moving over here. Now just leave the light alone. See what we're looking at. Okay, so I've got a pole here. Right? Beautiful pole. Right? Everything like that. So I'm going to find the end of my rope. Right. There we go. One rope end. Okay, so I'm just going to tie this here. Now, let's bring this a little closer if we can. There we go. So this what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this around about 3 times. Pull nice and hard. I'm going to put this face across over a through knot, like that. Kick it down as far as it goes. And there you go. Right? So that's part one. Get the crab net ready. What's part two? Getting this all unraveled. Now you can drop this in the water. Now you can drop this in the water and just pull, pull, pull. Some people do that. But today I'm just going to unwind it so you can see me unwind it. There we go, one crab pot. Right? All good. This tripod's not too good. Never bring good gear when you're going out to these places because you're just going to get water all over. You'll find that what I'm using today is my low-tech gear. But it's not so good on the quality in the sun. Anyway, I'm just going to throw this in. We'll get nice and tight, loose, whatever else, up, down, short. And that is part one. Okay, so I'm going to set up the other one, the other end of the spear. And, that'll be it. And we'll see what we catch. Okay, so fishing's one of these sports where you have to follow the rules. So one of the rules you have to follow with crabbing is you have to have a crab measure. Okay? Make sure following that. Number 2. Well, in this case, they're more knives and scissors. I recommend scissors when it comes to fishing, despite everyone with the knife. Always when you come out of these areas, bring yourself a light of some sort, right? And here comes the sad bit for you. Lights are actually your worst enemy when it comes to crabbing, so I have to turn the big one off. I have to turn the small one on. Okay? Let's see how we go. Okay, so we finally got ourselves a crab. Woo! Okay, so probably wondering, how do you know it's big enough? Right, so here we go. Get a crab measure. Sorry if this isn't very clear. Try my best. These are a night creature. You want to make sure you get the tip. Let's see if we can get some lighting a bit better for us. Okay. So, you got these 2 tips here on either side. See a little point this? You'll see them right here and here on either side. What you do is you got to measure these. Now, I've already measured this, but all I need is this here to match up for both sides, and voila! Well, you're just in size. Oh. Then, next thing you do is you can check other things. So this is a male, big claws. So I don't need to worry about no eggs. Okay? Anyway, that's the 1. Okay? The wind is picked up, so I'm just gonna do our best we can here. See how we get. Alright, so it's the next day. Got my crab. It's been in the fridge overnight, but yeah, it's alright. See, beautiful little thing. He's just in size. Poor bastard. If he was a little bit smaller, I wouldn't be able to take him. But that's the only one I actually caught, which just happened. Right, so what do you need? You need a pan. You need water. Need water. Right, so let's bring this down to a level where you can seal it up door. So this is your water, and want to light it up. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to bring that to the boil. Alright, that's where this little fella comes in. So, right, so while I wait for that to boil, okay, now in this you will need knife, onions, small tomatoes, you can use big ones, definitely get yourself a lemon. I also got some seasoning, lemon fire and basil, very interesting combination. Right, so what you gotta do first is get yourself a little prepared bowl and you cut up some onion, okay. Now onion, you're probably thinking that's not going to go crap. Yes, it will. It will all go together. Don't worry about that. Okay. So peel yourself an onion. Now I've seen people do this a silly thing way like this. Just get the shell off. Onions, you don't want to cry about them. Okay. So get them off. Right. Once you got there, cut it. Right. Now here's a trick they don't normally show you. Get your knife and you just cut long ways, but not all the way through. Then you can cut them up like this, going across the ways. You'll find this just breaks up into small little bits. Beautiful, small. Now don't go nuts and make a billion onions. Just do one onion. Onions spread.
tell I'm a professional cooking for some reason. You can see I can just cut that like sections and all that. Right, that's your onions. Awesome on all that. Give your board a quick wipe down and remove yourself the onions. Onions stain. And as you can see from my castings, it stains. Clear away all your onion. Put it in your compost if you've got a compost. Compost is good for the garden. Right, so your next bit, you want to get some herbs. Now, I'm just going to go with a small amount of the stuff because go for about, we'll go about this tablespoon. Throw that on in. Don't need the rest of this. Right, that is the thing I didn't tell you. Right, so what I've got here is some olive oil, which I have some garlic soaking in the bottom of. Now, I don't actually want the garlic in it, but the garlicky taste and the seasoning kind of comes out pretty good when it comes to. So what I'll do is put one, and I'll put two of these in here. Right, and before I do nothing else, next thing I want to do is get myself a bit of the lemon. You're thinking, hang on, lemon, you're supposed to squeeze that and all that stuff. Oh, this is a pretty fat lemon. It's got more skin than lemon, to tell you the truth. Oh wow. This is what I call a well-protected lemon. As you can see, it's got a thick skin. And usually happens with dry seasons. We got a pretty dry season these days. Anyway, grab this, squeeze it, and just squeeze the crap out of it. Doesn't really matter how much lemon you use. There we go. Whew. Right, that's the lemon. Right, so we're just going to mix this all together. Oh, that looks horrible. That looks terrible. That's not over. Right, so you mix that all up. What we're going to do is get these tomatoes. What I'm going to do is just going to cut them in half. Throw them in. Cut them in half. Throw them in. You got lettuce? Add it to lettuce. I don't got no lettuce right now. And the lettuce in the store looked like it's been frozen for 7 billion years, so I thought, bugger that. Who wants frozen lemon? Frozen lettuce. You know, it's just try to avoid frozen stuff if you can, because you don't know how old the darn stuff is. Now, as you can see over here, my pot is starting to get hot. I'm using one of these blue thingy ones. As you can see, it's actually gets some bubbles at the bottom, strangely, but it's getting there. I need this to be completely boiling before I start. So anyway, there's my tomatoes. I'm just gonna mix that in a bit. You can see it's starting to get a bit of color now. I ain't got enough tomatoes yet, but you know, add a few more. It's got a nice smell to it. And you're probably thinking, what, you're just gonna add this like that? Yeah, pretty much. Gets a bit more into this. Now, the reason I've gone with crabbing as a form of fishing as the first video is it's one of the easiest fish to catch. Absolutely easy. So easy to catch that it's ridiculous. My little friend here, it took me 3 hours to get this because, well, local. I'm sorry, but when it comes to local, everyone fishes local, okay? When you go out to the wilderness, out further away from the city, you're going to catch what you're after because less people are catching out there. Your locals respect your fishing limits and so forth. I'm respecting my fishing limits. Now, I recall, last I checked, the crab limit is 5 in the Swan River right now because they're trying to get the population up. And considering how long it took me to catch this bugger, and I'm going to say this now, my crab pots were pulling up blowfish. And either big fish just blows themselves up. And you can't eat them, they're poisonous. They're like piranhas. All they do is thrive where there's nothing else thriving. Clearing those things out, doing a lot of people favors. But you can't eat them. So I'm sure there's purpose for them in the world. Anyway, I'll wait for the water to boil. So when it's ready to boil, I'll turn it back on and get the camera back there. Alright, so it's at the boil. So here's my crab, alright? Now, this bug has been asleep all night because I put him in the fridge because it was very late when I got home last night. But normally you see them hop around. This guy is not going to hop around. So as you can see, I'm putting him in and his color is instantly changing. Right? So he's at a boil. The water's still at a boil. Drop the temperature a bit. So what I want to do is I want to time this for about 7 to 8 minutes. Boiling this guy. Now, you're probably thinking, I've added too much salad for this one little guy. I've added the extra salad because he is such a small guy and you want to enjoy him. Right? The next thing you're going to have to get prepared is nutcrackers. Why nutcrackers? Well, you can put the crab's legs between this and you can just crack it open, peel him. But let's keep this going. Make sure all the air escapes them. Right, so I'm at the point where this is ready to come off. Turn your stove off. Turn your stove off, bring it over your sink. Pour it into the sink. Grab it all. Put it back over here. Now, I use one of these stone-based ones because they're easy to clean. If you get stone-based pots for when you're out in the wilderness, they're better because they are, really easy to clean. They're not the best for fireplaces because they haven't yet designed them with hooks and so forth. If you're someone out there who actually designs pots, design these beautiful pots. Design this for the camping place. Because I can tell you this now, the amount of effort to heat your pan up in the wilderness is reduced by a lot, and these pans keep the heat a lot better, so it is good. Right, so I'm gonna run the tap over this, cool it down, wrap it cool. Okay. On to the next fun bit. Most people are going to call disgusting, because you're about to find out what's inside these shells. Now you're probably thinking, oh, I scoop things out of the water. Yeah, now crabs are a bottom feeder, so they're always going to be at the bottom of the water and you're always going to get stuff come out. That's why you give it a clean afterwards beforehand. But we're going to go into this a bit more, just bear with me. Right, so I've got it here is 2 plates. Right, and here's my crab. Oh, still a bit hot in the water. Right, so what you want to do is you've got to get this top piece completely off, and yeah, let's do that. Right, so take the legs, pop them there, other leg, pop it there. Right, so what we want to do is we want to pull this out. You see all this stuff here? That's the stuff the crab's been eating, so we want to wash that out. Right, so that's the shell. Pull all your shells there as you do it. Right, take all your arms and legs off. Okay. There you go. Right, pop them to the side. Pop on the ground. Do whatever. Right, so here's your meat. It's inside here. You ever had a crab before? You're like, duh. Of course it's not duh. Right, so you get your meat. And you just push it out best you can. Now a male crab, which this is, doesn't always have a lot of meat in the body. Body is actually just, yeah, it just don't got a lot of meat. Try to make sure you don't get the shell in there because it tastes disgusting if you do. A lot of people in my family believe that the body is the best bit, especially if you get a female crab. Look, I personally think that that is true. Now, as you can see, you're getting small amounts of meat. Crabs' claws in the male are actually the best. As you can see, I'm about to crack this open. As you can see, there's your meat here. Pull it out. Okay. Get out what meat you can. I know people just eat this straight from the shell. It's good. Can do that. I even know people who can instantly pull it out like that. Takes practice. Can be done. Try to do that again. See, doesn't always work. That's why you have the nut crackers. And my nut crackers are very old, so they're not that good, so still better than nothing. Hey, big bits of flesh. Now it doesn't look like a lot. That's why you make all this to go with it. See, this one's getting even smaller. Now this bug over here was only just in size, so it's kind of that was what was available. As in, it was in size, but you normally would expect to get a couple of crabs if you're growing crab. It's not quite in season yet. Well, it's in season, it's just the beginning of the season. Now you can fish for these in the daytime if you get a deep enough jetty, but don't always get that. Right, so I've got a small amount of meat here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly break a bit more of this up. you know, so the meat goes all over the place. Most people will say, don't do that, don't do that. Okay. Yeah. Right. All I'm going to do is going to add it to this. I'm going to mix it around. And give it a good mix so it's all throughout this. Might have put a bit too much onion in this. I mean, I can add some more tomato to bring it out. I probably add too much onion. Probably go with half an onion, probably better. Now this, throw it in your compost. Got more tomatoes. Right. All right, so here it is. Here's the crab meat by itself. Beautiful, eh? Now, it's the start of the season here. Make sure you have a crab measure with you. If you don't got a crab measure, sometimes the piers have one there. A can of Coke can sometimes do it. I don't recommend that. If you do use a can of Coke, just make sure it's a very slight bit over the size of the can of Coke, because the bending of the can kind of shrinks the size of the can down. The idea of this is to learn for yourself, okay? And go and try. The worst thing can happen is you don't catch nothing. I mean, look at this. I only caught one. Sometimes I catch my entire limit. Other times, I don't catch nothing at all. It's just the way nature is, okay? My suggestion is take a fishing rod with you. I didn't so much do it myself this time, but fiddle around with my phone. You know what? This generation is getting taken over by phones, and I can prove it. I'm getting taken over myself. That's more than the 10th for today. Bye.